Introduction. Why didn't I get the job? Have you ever walked out of an interview thinking, I could have done better? Or worse, I don't know what I did wrong? You're not alone. Thousands of smart, hard-working people miss life-changing opportunities not because they're unqualified, but because they don't know how to interview like a winner. This book is here to change that. In a world where everyone's chasing jobs, the person who communicates better, answers smarter, and speaks with confidence wins. Your resume may get you into the room, but how you present yourself, speak in English, tell your story, and answer questions, that's what gets you the job. And no one teaches you this in school. Why this book matters. This is not just another job interview book. It's a step-by-step guide designed to help you. Speak confidently, even if English is your second language. Craft answers that actually impress interviewers. Ask smart questions that make you look like a leader. Handle rejection, follow up professionally, and build career momentum. Whether you're a fresh graduate, job switcher, or nervous English speaker, this book will give you the clarity, structure, and tools to own the room in your next interview. Before you start, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Get more powerful audiobooks that help you become 1% better every day. Chapter 1. First Impressions. Win, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. This saying is especially true in job interviews, where your very first moments, sometimes the first 10 to 30 seconds, can set the entire tone of the conversation. Imagine walking into a room filled with decision-makers, all sizing you up silently in moments that feel like seconds but can change your career forever. How do you make sure that those first moments work for you, not against you? The truth is, first impressions are formed almost instantly, before you even say a word. Studies show that within the first 7 seconds, an interviewer begins to judge your confidence, professionalism, and likability. This split-second judgment is heavily influenced by your appearance, body language, and the energy you bring into the room. So, mastering your presence before you speak is the foundation of interview success. This chapter is your deep dive into how to build instant likability, dress to impress, project confident body language, and understand what recruiters truly notice in those crucial first seconds. The psychology of first impressions. Why do first impressions happen so fast? Our brains are wired to make quick decisions based on limited information, a survival mechanism from ancient times designed to identify friend or foe quickly. In modern-day job interviews, this means the interviewer unconsciously processes your facial expressions, posture, grooming, and overall vibe before evaluating your words. This initial impression colors everything they hear afterward. This is why you must control what they see first. The more intentional you are with your presence, the more you increase your chances of being perceived as confident, capable, and the right fit for the role. How to build instant likability. Likability is the secret sauce in every successful interview. No matter how qualified you are on paper, if the interviewer doesn't feel a connection or sense a positive vibe from you immediately, it's much harder to win their support. So, how do you build likability in the first moments? Smile genuinely. A real smile activates the muscles around your eyes, signaling warmth and openness. It breaks tension and creates an instant emotional bond. Avoid forced or businesslike smiles. They come off as fake. Practice smiling in a mirror to find a natural expression that feels comfortable. Make eye contact. Eye contact shows confidence and honesty. When you enter the room, meet the interviewer's gaze for a brief moment. Don't stare aggressively, but maintain enough contact to convey you're fully present and engaged. Use their name early. When the interviewer introduces themselves, repeat their name politely. "It's great to meet you, Sarah. Using a person's name triggers a positive psychological response. They feel recognized and valued. Exude warm energy. Think of your body language and tone as your vibe. Speak with enthusiasm, without overdoing it. Keep your voice steady and lean slightly forward to show interest. Positive energy is contagious, and it makes the interviewer want to engage with you more. Be polite and respectful to everyone. From the receptionist to the hiring manager, treat everyone with kindness. Your behavior as you enter and move through the building can be reported back to the interviewer and impact their perception. Dressing for impact. Your visual resume, you've heard the phrase, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. It's true. Your outfit is a silent message about your professionalism, attention to detail, and cultural fit. Here's how to nail your interview outfit. Research the company culture. Some companies expect formal business attire, while others are more casual or creative. Find out what's standard by checking the company website, social media, or even calling HR. Then dress slightly more polished than their everyday style. Choose classic, neutral colors. Navy, black, gray, and white are safe bets. These colors convey seriousness and professionalism without distraction. Ensure your clothes fit well. Baggy or too tight clothing distracts interviewers and makes you look sloppy or uncomfortable. Tailored or well-fitting clothes show you care about details. Keep accessories minimal. Avoid flashy jewelry or strong cologne. Your appearance should complement your skills, not overshadow them. Grooming matters. Neat hair, clean nails, and fresh breath are non-negotiable. Even minor grooming slips can create doubts about your reliability. Remember, your appearance is your visual resume. It's the first thing interviewers read about you before your words take center stage. Body language that screams confidence. Words matter, but your body language often says more. Nonverbal cues communicate confidence, honesty, and openness, or the opposite. Here are key body language tips to master before and during your interview. Stand and sit tall. Good posture sends a message of self-assurance. Keep your spine straight, shoulders relaxed, but back and chest open. Avoid slouching or leaning back lazily. Firm handshake. The handshake is a classic first impression ritual. A firm, not crushing handshake, combined with a smile and eye contact, sets a confident tone. If you're interviewing virtually, mimic this by looking into the camera with a warm expression. Open gestures. Avoid crossing your arms or legs tightly, which can appear defensive. Use hand gestures naturally when you ought. Speak to show enthusiasm and clarity. Controlled movements. Avoid fidgeting, tapping your foot, or playing with your hair. Nervous habits distract interviewers and can signal anxiety. Mirroring. Subtly mirror the interviewer's body language. If they lean forward, you lean slightly forward. This unconscious mimicry creates rapport and trust. Smile and nod. When the interviewer speaks, nodding in agreement and smiling appropriately shows active listening and engagement. What recruiters notice in the first 30 seconds. Now, imagine you're the interviewer for a moment. You have 15 candidates to see today, each with similar qualifications. You glance at their resumes briefly before meeting them in person. What do you notice first? Appearance and grooming. Are they neat, well-dressed, presentable? Facial expression. Do they look approachable and confident or stressed and uneasy? Posture and movement. Do they walk in confidently? Do they shake your hand well? Do they sit attentively? Eye contact and engagement. Are they making eye contact? Are they genuinely interested? Tone and energy. Even before speaking fully, their tone of voice, energy level, and attitude register. This subconscious evaluation happens quickly and sets a bias, positive or negative, that influences how you interpret everything they say after. The power of preparation. Rehearse your entrance. Many candidates overlook their entrance to the interview room, but this is a crucial moment to rehearse. Practice these steps until they feel natural. Walk in with your head up, shoulders back, and a purposeful stride. Greet everyone politely and with a smile. Offer a confident handshake. Make brief but warm small talk, if appropriate. Rehearsing this moment reduces anxiety and helps you control your presence from the very first step. Chapter 2. Tell me about yourself. Of all the interview questions, tell me about yourself is often the most feared, and paradoxically, the most important. This open-ended prompt is usually the very first question you'll face. Yet many candidates stumble here, missing a golden opportunity to capture the interviewer's interest and set the stage for the rest of the conversation. Why? Because it sounds deceptively simple. Everyone thinks they know how to answer it, but the reality is most introductions fall flat. They ramble, they bore, or worse, they reveal nothing relevant about the candidate's value. This chapter is your definitive guide to crafting a self-introduction that hooks your interviewer, builds rapport, and positions you as the perfect fit for the job. Why most intros fail? You might think a self-introduction should be easy, but many candidates make the same mistakes. The resume dump. Instead of telling a story, they recite their CV line by line. This approach quickly becomes monotonous and fails to connect on a human level. Interviewers already have your resume. They want to hear the story behind it. Going off topic. Some answers wander into irrelevant details, like personal hobbies or long histories that don't align with the job requirements. This dilutes your message and wastes precious time. Being too vague or generic. Phrases like, "I'm a hard worker," or "I'm a team player," without examples or context, sound empty. These cliches don't help interviewers understand why you're uniquely qualified. Overloading with personal info. Oversharing about personal life or unrelated details can make interviewers uncomfortable or question your professionalism. Lack of confidence or clarity, mumbling or rambling signals uncertainty and can make you seem unprepared. The good news? These problems are avoidable with the right structure and mindset. The formula for a killer. Self-introduction. A great self-introduction is like a movie trailer. Short, engaging, and leaves the interviewer wanting to learn more. It needs to sell your value, demonstrate relevance, and reveal enough personality to be memorable. Here's a simple but powerful formula to follow. Present, past, future. Present. Start with your current role, what you do, or your main skill area. This sets the context. Past. Briefly mention relevant experience or achievements that show your qualifications and strengths. Future. End with what you want next, aligned with the role you're interviewing for, showing enthusiasm and motivation. For example, currently, I'm a digital marketing specialist at XYZ Corp, where I manage social media campaigns that increase engagement by 30%. Previously, I worked with a startup to launch their first product online, which taught me how to work creatively under tight deadlines. I'm excited to bring my skills to this role to help your company expand its online presence and reach new customers. This structure is clear, concise, and targeted. How to balance personality with professionalism. Interviewers want to know the person behind the resume. Your self-introduction should reflect who you are, but also maintain professionalism. Here's how to strike that balance. Show passion. If you're passionate about your field, let that enthusiasm come through naturally. Passion is contagious and memorable. Be authentic. Speak in your natural voice. If you're funny or warm, sprinkle a light touch of that in. But avoid jokes or slang that might be misunderstood. Stay positive. Frame your experiences positively. Even if you're transitioning careers or faced setbacks, Emphasize what you learned and how you grew. Be relevant. Focus on qualities and experiences that matter to the job. This shows you understand the role and are serious about contributing. Turning boring backgrounds into irresistible narratives. Not everyone has a flashy resume or decades of experience. If your background seems ordinary, don't worry. Your story can still shine. Every experience holds value if you tell it well. Here's how to transform ordinary backgrounds into captivating stories. Highlight growth and learning even. Entry-level roles or internships teach important lessons. Focus on how you overcame challenges, learned new skills, or contributed to team success. Example: though I started as a customer service rep, I quickly learned how to manage difficult situations calmly and developed a knack for problem solving, which I'm eager to apply in this role. Focus on soft skills: communication, teamwork, adaptability. These skills are often more valuable than technical knowledge. Show how you've demonstrated these in your past roles or life. Example: my experience volunteering taught me patience, empathy, and how to collaborate with diverse groups, skills I believe are crucial for this position. Create a theme craft, a narrative thread that ties your experiences together. Maybe it's a commitment to learning, helping others, or solving problems. Example: throughout my career, I've been driven by curiosity and a desire to improve processes, which led me from data entry to project management. Show future potential. If you lack experience, emphasize your eagerness to learn and grow. Employers value attitude and potential. Example: while I'm early in my career, I'm highly motivated to develop my skills in software development and contribute meaningfully to your team. Practical tips to craft your introduction. Write and rewrite. Don't expect perfection the first time. Draft your intro, refine it, and get feedback. Keep it under 2 minutes. Brevity is powerful. Respect the interviewer's time. Practice out loud. Say it until it feels natural, not robotic. Record yourself to catch awkward phrases. Tailor it. Customize your intro to each job. Highlight the most relevant points. Use positive body language. Pair your words with confident posture, eye contact, and a smile. Common mistakes to avoid in your introduction. Memorizing word for word. This can sound rehearsed and unnatural. Understand your points and speak conversationally. Starting too broad or too narrow. Avoid jumping into your entire life story or being too vague. Stick to what matters. Neglecting your voice. Speak clearly and at a moderate pace. Ignoring cultural norms. Different countries and industries have different expectations. Research these to adapt your tone. Sample self-introductions for different situations for fresh graduates. I recently graduated with a degree in computer science from ABC University. During my studies, I completed internships where I developed coding skills and worked on team projects that improved my problem-solving and collaboration abilities. I'm eager to start my career in software development and excited about the opportunity to contribute to your innovative projects. For career changers, after spending 5 years in sales, I discovered a passion for digital marketing, leading me to complete certification courses and freelance projects. My experience working with clients and understanding their needs has given me a unique perspective I want to apply in this marketing role. For experienced professionals, I'm a project manager with over 8 years of experience in the construction industry. I've successfully led teams on multi-million-dollar projects, focusing on delivering on time and under budget. I'm looking to bring my expertise in planning and team leadership to your company's upcoming developments. Why this question is a gateway to success. The tell me about yourself question isn't just small talk. It's your chance to take control of the interview narrative. When done well, it builds immediate rapport, demonstrates communication skills and frames your story to highlight your strengths and relevance. This opening moment sets the tone. A weak start can make it harder to recover, while a strong start builds confidence and enthusiasm for you and the interviewer. Actionable exercise. Craft your introduction. Take 15 minutes today to draft your self-introduction using the present, past, future formula. Write it down, read it aloud, and refine until it sounds natural and compelling. Then record yourself and watch it back to notice tone, clarity, and body language. Practice with a friend or mentor and ask for honest feedback. Chapter 3. Speak like a Pro 1. Of the biggest challenges many interview candidates face, especially in English, is not just what they say, but how they say it. You might have the perfect qualifications, but if your communication lacks clarity or confidence, your message can get lost. In a world where English is the global language of business, speaking like a pro is not optional. It's essential. This chapter is dedicated to helping you master the art of English communication in XUI interviews. You'll discover practical hacks to avoid common mistakes, learn words and phrases that make you sound sharp and professional, understand the power of pausing and pacing, and conquer nerves so your speech stays clear and confident. Why speaking? Well, matters more than you. Think effective communication in an interview is about connection and clarity. When you speak well, you build trust. Interviewers feel confident you can communicate with clients, colleagues, and managers effectively. You demonstrate professionalism, fluent, clear speech signals, preparation, and competence. You create a positive impression. Confidence in speech reflects confidence in ability. You reduce misunderstandings. Clear language prevents confusion or doubts about your skills. Even small mistakes can distract the interviewer or give an unintended impression of uncertainty. On the flip side, polished language makes you memorable and often puts you ahead of equally qualified candidates. Common English mistakes to avoid in interviews. Whether English is your first or second language, there are pitfalls that trip up many candidates. Recognizing and avoiding them helps you sound more professional and confident. Overusing fillers words like like, you know, and actually are natural, but when overused, they weaken your message and make you sound unsure. Practice pausing instead of filling silence. Mixing tenses or incorrect grammar. For example, saying, "I am working there since 3 years," instead of, "I have been working there for 3 years." Small grammar slips can distract from your story and reduce clarity. Using weak vocabulary, generic words like good, nice, or thing don't convey much meaning. Use precise, strong words to describe your skills and experiences. Speaking too fast or too slow. Talking too quickly can make it hard to understand you. Speaking too slowly can cause the listener to lose interest. Find a steady, natural pace. Mispronouncing keywords, mispronunciations can confuse the interviewer and make you feel less confident. Focus on pronouncing common industry or role-related terms correctly. Avoiding complex sentences. Out of fear, trying to simplify too much may make you sound less knowledgeable. Use a balance. Clear but varied sentence structures keep the listener engaged. Words and phrases that make you sound sharp. The language you use shapes how interviewers perceive you. Incorporate these powerful words and phrases to demonstrate confidence and professionalism. Instead of "I think," say "I believe," or "in my experience." Replace good with effective, successful, or impactful. Swap helped with facilitated, led, executed, or collaborated. Use action verbs: achieved, developed, improved, managed. Add confidence boosters. "I'm confident that." "I am certain that," based on my background. Here are some strong phrases to practice. "I Take initiative by, one of my key strengths is, I have consistently delivered. This experience enhanced my ability to, I'm excited to contribute by. Remember, your goal is to sound professional and natural. Practice these phrases in context so they flow smoothly. Mastering, pausing, pacing, and pronunciation. Speech rhythm and clarity are just as important as word choice. The way you speak impacts how your message is received. Pausing. Pause strategically to emphasize important points and give the listener time to absorb your words. Pauses also help you gather your thoughts and avoid fillers. Practice pausing after key ideas or sentences. Avoid rushing through your answers. It can make you seem nervous. Use short pauses before answering tricky questions to collect your thoughts. Pacing. Aim for a moderate pace. Not too fast, not too slow. If you tend to speak quickly when nervous, consciously slow down by focusing on clear enunciation. Record yourself answering questions and adjust your speed. Take breaths regularly to maintain a steady rhythm. Pronunciation. Correct pronunciation improves clarity and shows respect for the language and interviewer. Practice difficult words ahead of time, especially industry jargon or company names. Use online dictionaries with audio pronunciation or language apps. Mimic native speakers by watching interviews or talks online. Good pronunciation also boosts your confidence. Knowing you're being understood clearly reduces anxiety. Handling. Interview nerves without losing. Clarity, nerves are normal. Even the most experienced professionals feel them. The trick is to manage anxiety so it doesn't affect your speech. Prepare. Thoroughly. Preparation builds confidence. Knowing your answers, practicing out loud, and anticipating questions reduces surprises. Practice relaxation techniques. Deep. Breathing before the interview calms your nervous system. Try inhaling slowly for 4 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling for 4.3. Visualize success. Imagine the interview going well. Positive visualization rewires your brain for calmness and clarity. Focus on the message, not perfection. Don't obsess over making no mistakes. Concentrate on communicating your value clearly and authentically. Use a power pose. Beforehand research shows that standing tall and opening your chest for 2 minutes boosts confidence hormones. Pace yourself if you feel rushed or overwhelmed. Mid-answer, pause, breathe, and then continue calmly. Remember, interviewers are human. Too, they want you to succeed. They appreciate honesty and effort over flawless English. Exercises to improve your interview. Speaking skills, practice. Speaking out loud. Speak your answers out loud daily, even to yourself in the mirror. This builds fluency and reduces hesitation. Record. Yourself. Use your phone to record answers. Listen for fillers, pacing, and clarity. Note areas to improve. Role play with a partner. Practice mock interviews with a friend or mentor who can provide constructive feedback. Learn new vocabulary in context. Don't just memorize words. Practice them in sentences related to your field or interview questions. Shadow native speakers, listen to podcasts, TED Talks, or interviews and repeat what you hear. Matching tone and rhythm. Real-life example. From nervous to clear and confident. Consider Ravi, a software engineer from a non-English speaking background who struggled with interviews. He had excellent technical skills, but often lost interview opportunities because he spoke too fast, used fillers, and mispronounced words. After practicing structured answers with the present-past-future formula, slowing his pace, and learning key professional phrases, his confidence soared. During his next interview, he began with a clear, strong introduction, answered questions thoughtfully with strategic pauses, and avoided fillers. The interviewer was impressed not just by his skills, but by his communication clarity. Ravi landed the job, proof that speaking like a pro can be a game changer. Chapter 4. Answer. Like a star. When you walk into an interview, the spotlight inevitably shines brightest on your answers. No matter how polished your resume or how confident your introduction, it's the answers you give, especially to behavioral and situational questions, that truly reveal who you are, what you can do, and how you'll fit in. But answering interview questions is a skill, one that many candidates struggle to master. How do you structure your responses so they are clear, concise, and compelling? How can you talk about your weaknesses or past failures without sounding unprofessional? And what's the secret to turning tricky questions into opportunities to shine? The answer lies in one powerful technique used by successful interviewees worldwide: the STAR method. In this chapter, you'll learn to answer like a star, crafting answers that impress interviewers by telling stories that demonstrate your skills and mindset. You'll also explore how to tackle the most common interview questions, handle tough topics like gaps or weaknesses, and turn every question into your moment to shine. The STAR method, simplified STAR, stands for Situation, Task, Action, Result. This structure helps you organize your answers logically and ensures your responses show clear evidence of your skills and achievements. Situation. Describe the context or background. Task. Explain the challenge or responsibility you faced. Action. Detail the specific steps you took to address the task. Result. Share the outcome, focusing on measurable or positive results. Using this method does two important things. It keeps your answer focused and easy to follow. It shifts your response from vague claims to concrete examples, stories that prove your value. Why stories? Matter interviewers remember stories far better than facts or buzzwords. Stories humanize you, make your skills relatable, and demonstrate how you behave in real situations. The STAR method is essentially a storytelling framework tailored for interviews. When you prepare, think of stories from your experience that highlight key skills like leadership, problem solving, teamwork, adaptability, or conflict resolution. These stories will become your arsenal for answering a variety of questions. Mastering the STAR method. Step by step, let's break down how to craft a perfect STAR answer. Pick the right situation. Choose a relevant experience related to the question. It doesn't have to be from work. Internships, volunteer work, or academic projects count too. The key is relevance and impact. Define your task clearly. What was your role? What goal or challenge did you face? Clarity here sets the stage for your actions. Describe your actions specifically. This is the core of your story. Be detailed about what you did, not what the team or company did. Use action verbs and be concise but descriptive. Highlight the result. Quantify if possible. Increased sales by 20%. Reduced processing time by 30%. Resolved customer complaint, leading to 5-star feedback. If you can't quantify, describe the positive outcome clearly. Sample STAR. Answer. Breakdown. Question. Tell me about a time you had to solve a difficult problem at work. Answer. Situation. At my last job, our team faced a sudden software glitch that was delaying project deadlines. Task. As the lead developer, I needed to identify the cause and fix it quickly to avoid losing a key client. Action. I first analyzed the code to isolate the bug, then collaborated with the QA team to test potential fixes overnight. Result? We fixed the issue within 24 hours, which kept the project on schedule and maintained the client's trust. Most asked questions and perfect sample. STAR answers. To build your confidence, here are 10 frequently asked behavioral questions paired with star format sample answers. Use these as templates and adapt your own stories. Describe a time you demonstrated leadership. Situation. During a group project at university, the team was struggling to meet deadlines. Task. I volunteered to coordinate tasks and set up regular check-ins. Action. I created a shared calendar, assigned tasks based on strengths, and motivated the team with progress updates. Result? We completed the project a week early and earned the highest grade in the class. Tell me about a challenge you faced and how you handled it. Situation. While managing social media accounts, we noticed engagement dropping suddenly. Task. My task was to identify the cause and improve engagement. Action. I analyzed the analytics, tested different post types, and launched a targeted campaign. Result. Engagement increased by 40% over 2 months, driving more website traffic. Give an example of when you worked well under pressure. Situation. During the end of the quarter, we had tight deadlines for a major client report. Task. I had to compile and verify data accurately within 48 hours. Action. I prioritized tasks, delegated where possible, and worked overtime to double-check figures. Result. The report was submitted on time, praised for accuracy, and helped secure a contract renewal. Describe a time you worked in a team. Situation. At my internship, I joined a team developing a new product feature. Task. My responsibility was to support design and provide user feedback. Action. I collaborated with designers and developers, attended brainstorming sessions, and tested prototypes. Result? Our feature launched successfully, receiving positive customer reviews. 5. Tell me about a failure and what you learned. Situation. Early in my career, I missed an important deadline. Task. I had to deliver a report to a client but underestimated the time needed. Action. I owned the mistake, informed my manager immediately and reorganized my schedule to prioritize tasks better. Result. I learned the importance of realistic planning and improved my time management. 6. Describe a situation where you had to adapt quickly. Situation. During a project, our client changed requirements last minute. Task. I needed to adjust the plan and deliver within the original deadline. Action. I reprioritized tasks, communicated changes to the team, and worked overtime. Result. We delivered a revised product on time, and the client was satisfied. Give an example of problem solving. Situation. Our sales dropped due to competitor pricing. Task. I was asked to find ways to retain customers. Action. I analyzed customer feedback, introduced loyalty discounts, and improved service quality. Result. Customer retention increased by 25% within 3 months. Tell me about a time you went above and beyond. Situation. A colleague was absent during a critical project phase. Task. I had to cover their responsibilities as well as mine. Action. I stayed late to manage both sets of tasks and ensured smooth progress. Result. The project was completed successfully, and my manager acknowledged my commitment. Describe how you handle criticism. Situation. During a presentation, my manager pointed out areas for improvement. Task. I needed to incorporate feedback into the final version. Action. I listened carefully, asked clarifying questions, and revised the presentation accordingly. Result. The improved presentation was well received and led to a successful pitch. 10. Tell me about a time you managed a conflict. Situation. 2 team members disagreed on the project approach. Task. As the team leader, I needed to resolve the conflict. Action. I facilitated a meeting to listen to both sides and helped find a compromise. Result: the team worked harmoniously and delivered the project on time. Handling: tough questions, gaps, weaknesses, and failures. Some interview questions feel like traps. How do you answer honestly without hurting your chances? The STAR method combined with strategic framing can turn these challenges into opportunities to show growth and self-awareness. Addressing employment gaps. If asked about gaps in your resume, be honest but positive. Example: situation: after my previous job, I took 6 months off to care for a family member. Task: during this period, I wanted to keep my skills sharp. Action: I completed online courses related to my field and volunteered for a local nonprofit. Result: this experience broadened my skills and prepared me to return to work with renewed focus. This answer acknowledges the gap, but shows proactive learning and responsibility. Discussing weaknesses: pick a real weakness, but show how you're improving it. Example: situation: earlier I struggled with public speaking. Task: I wanted to overcome this to better present ideas at work. Action: I joined a local Toastmasters club and practiced regularly. Result: now I'm confident presenting to small groups and continue improving. The key: choose a manageable weakness and show a growth mindset. Talking about failures. Frame failures as learning experiences. Example: situation: I once missed a deadline that affected my team. Task: I had to rebuild trust and improve performance. Action: I implemented better time tracking and communication. Result: my subsequent projects have been delivered early and with high quality. Turning tricky questions into opportunities. Questions like, why should we hire you? Or, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are chances to sell yourself. Why should we hire you? Instead of a vague response, use the STAR structure to highlight a relevant story, demonstrating your unique value. Where do you see yourself? Show ambition aligned with the company's goals, emphasizing your willingness to grow and contribute long-term. Chapter 5. Ask like a leader. When the spotlight shifts from your answers to your questions, many candidates feel uncertain, often missing a golden opportunity to stand out. But smart questions are one of the most powerful tools you can wield in an interview. Asking the right questions shows you're thoughtful, engaged, and serious about the role. It's how you demonstrate leadership before you even join the team. In this chapter, you'll learn why asking questions is just as important as answering them. How to ask high-impact questions that reveal your confidence and curiosity. What pitfalls to avoid, and how to close the interview with authority, leaving the interviewer impressed and eager to bring you on board. The psychology behind asking smart questions. Before we dive into specific questions, it's important to understand why questions matter psychologically in interviews. Questions signal engagement and preparation. When you ask insightful questions, interviewers see you as someone who's prepared, genuinely interested in the company, and eager to contribute. It shifts the dynamic from a one-sided interrogation to a two-way conversation. Psychological studies show that people naturally like those who show interest in them. Asking questions about their work, challenges, or team culture activates rapport and trust. It tells the interviewer you value their perspective. Questions reveal your critical thinking. Smart questions reflect your ability to analyze, think critically, and plan ahead. Instead of just reacting to their questions, you're proactively exploring the company's challenges and how you can solve them. This positions you as a problem solver, a leader who thinks beyond the role's surface. Questions empower you. Interviews aren't just about them judging you. They're your chance to evaluate if the company and role are right for you. Asking questions gives you valuable insight into culture, growth opportunities, and expectations, helping you make a wise career choice. 7 high-impact questions that show confidence and leadership now. Let's get into the heart of the chapter. 7 powerful questions you can ask in almost any interview to demonstrate your leadership mindset and leave a memorable impression. What are the biggest challenges the team department is currently facing? This question shows that you're not just interested in the job title or salary. You care about the real problems the company faces. It signals readiness to step in and contribute to solutions, not just complete tasks. Why it works reveals your problem-solving mindset, opens the door for the interviewer to share insights about company priorities, gives you clues about the role's real demands. How do you measure success for this position in the first 6-12 months? This question reveals your focus on performance and results. It shows you want clarity on expectations and are motivated by achieving meaningful outcomes. Why it works shows you are goal-oriented, clarifies what success looks like so you can tailor your efforts if hired. Signals professional maturity. Can you tell me more about the team I would be working with? Asking this question highlights your interest in collaboration and culture fit. It also gives you a chance to understand team dynamics and leadership style. Why it works demonstrates you value teamwork, helps you gauge if the team environment matches your work style, shows emotional intelligence. What opportunities are there for professional development and growth? This question shows that you're thinking long-term about your career with the company. It reflects ambition and a willingness to learn and grow. Why it works indicates commitment to self-improvement, shows you want to add increasing value over time, provides insight into the company's investment in employees. How does this role contribute to the company's overall mission and goals? This shows strategic thinking and an understanding that every role fits into a bigger picture. You're signaling you want to make a meaningful impact. Why it works reveals your desire to align your work with company vision, demonstrates strategic mindset, helps you connect your tasks to higher purpose. What do you enjoy most about working here? This question personalizes the interview, builds rapport, and helps you understand the company culture from a first-hand perspective. Why it works builds connection with the interviewer, offers a glimpse into company culture, shows genuine curiosity. What are the next steps in the interview process? Always end with this question. It's professional and shows you are serious about moving forward. Why it works clarifies the hiring timeline, signals eagerness and confidence, leaves a lasting impression of professionalism. What not to ask in interviews. Just as important as asking great questions is avoiding questions that can raise red flags or make you appear unprofessional. Here are some types of questions to steer clear of. 1. Questions about salary and benefits too early. While salary is important, bringing it up too soon can make it seem like money is your only motivation. Wait until the employer brings it up or after you receive an offer. Basic questions easily answered by the company website. Questions like, "What does your company do?" or "Where are you located?" suggest a lack of preparation and can thus frustrate interviewers. Questions focused solely on vacation time or perks. While benefits matter, leading with these questions might make you appear less committed to the job itself. Negative or confrontational questions. Avoid questions like, "Why did your last employee leave?" or "What's wrong with this company?" These can come across as aggressive or pessimistic. How to close the interview with power. Your closing remarks are your final chance to influence the interviewer's impression. Here's how to finish. Strong. Reiterate your interest and fit. Briefly summarize why you're excited about the role and how your skills align with their needs. This leaves no doubt about your enthusiasm. Example: I'm really excited about the challenges you described, and believe my background in specific skill can help achieve those goals. 2. Ask about the next steps. As mentioned, asking about the process signals professionalism and keeps you informed. Express gratitude, thank the interviewer for their time and the opportunity to learn about the company. Politeness and appreciation go a long way. Follow up with a thoughtful thank you note. After the interview, send a personalized email reiterating your interest and briefly highlighting how you can contribute. Chapter 6. Practice to perfection. You know the saying, practice makes perfect. When it comes to interviews, this couldn't be more true. The difference between a candidate who nervously stumbles and one who confidently commands the room often boils down to how well they prepared their delivery. Practicing your interview skills isn't just about memorizing answers. It's about mastering the art of communication so your responses flow naturally, your confidence shines through, and you leave a lasting positive impression. This chapter reveals the proven rehearsal strategies used by top performers, from Fortune 500 CEOs to high-achieving candidates, so you can practice smarter, not harder. You'll learn how to structure mock interviews, why recording yourself is a game changer, how daily speaking exercises boost fluency, and most importantly, how to practice without sounding robotic or rehearsed. Why practice is the secret weapon. You're underestimating first. Let's address why practicing your interview is often overlooked or misunderstood. Many candidates believe that simply knowing the right answers or reading interview tips will be enough. But real success comes when you can deliver those answers, naturally and confidently under pressure. Practice is the bridge between knowing and doing. Without it, your knowledge sits dormant, and nerves take over. With it, your mind and mouth coordinate like a well-oiled machine. Top performers don't leave their interviews to chance. They practice repeatedly until their skills become second nature, so even unexpected questions don't shake their composure. The mock interview blueprint: simulate to dominate. One of the most effective ways to prepare is through mock interviews. Realistic, simulated interviews that mimic the actual experience. How to run a mock interview. Find a partner, ideally a friend, mentor, or career coach who can play the role of the interviewer. Make sure they're willing to be honest and thorough. Prepare questions. Use common interview questions as well as ones specific to your industry or role. Dress the part. Wear interview-appropriate clothing to get used to how you feel. Time yourself. Give yourself realistic time limits for answers. Debrief. After the mock interview, ask for feedback on your tone, body language, content, and clarity. Why it works. Mock interviews replicate the stress and dynamics of the real interview, training your brain to perform under similar conditions. Repeated exposure reduces anxiety and builds muscle memory for your responses. The power of recording yourself. Your personal coach. Here's a secret top performers swear by. Record yourself answering interview questions, video or audio. Why? Because hearing and seeing yourself objectively reveals flaws and habits you can't detect otherwise. How to use self-recording. Effectively set up a camera or phone. Position it so you can see and hear yourself clearly. Choose a quiet environment to capture clear audio and avoid distractions. Answer interview questions as if live. Include body language, eye contact, and voice tone. Watch critically. Note your posture, filler words, pacing, and facial expressions. Take notes. What sounds confident? What feels awkward? Where do you lose clarity? Practice improvement. Record again after applying corrections and compare progress. What you'll discover: You may find you speak too fast or too slow. Notice distracting gestures or lack of eye contact. Detect monotone delivery or overuse of filler words. Understand where your answers are unclear or overly long. By becoming your own coach, you develop self-awareness, a critical skill that transforms good speakers into great ones. Daily speaking exercises. Build fluency and naturalness beyond rehearsing. Answers. Cultivating overall speaking fluency is vital. This helps you sound spontaneous, not scripted. Simple daily speaking exercises. Mirror talk. Stand in front of a mirror and speak on any topic for 1-2 minutes. Focus on clear pronunciation and engaging facial expressions. Record random prompts. Use apps or websites that give random interview questions. Speak answers aloud, daily without preparing fully. This trains spontaneity. Read aloud. Practice. Read articles, books, or scripts aloud, focusing on pacing, intonation, and emotion. Summarize your day. At night, briefly narrate your day out, loud. This improves storytelling and flow. Tongue twisters. Practice tricky phrases daily to enhance articulation and control. Why these matter? Regular vocal practice develops muscle memory in your speech organs, tongue, lips, vocal cords, helping you articulate clearly under pressure. Plus, it builds confidence because speaking becomes second nature. How to practice. Answers without sounding rehearsed. One of the biggest fears candidates face is sounding robotic or memorized, like they're reciting a script. Here's how to avoid that trap. Focus on ideas, not words. Instead of memorizing exact sentences, understand the key points you want to communicate for each question. Have a mental outline. Situation. Action result. This allows you to flexibly adapt wording to the conversation flow. Use storytelling. Humans connect deeply with stories. Practice telling your experiences as narratives with clear beginnings, challenges, solutions, and outcomes. Stories feel natural and engaging, not scripted. Vary your tone and pace. Avoid monotone delivery. Practice emphasizing important words, pausing for effect, and varying your speed. This makes your speech sound lively and authentic. Use natural language and fillers sparingly. It's okay to use some fillers like well or occasionally, as they mimic natural speech, but avoid overusing them, which distracts and weakens your message. Practice with real people engage in conversations or mock interviews with friends or mentors. The unpredictability of real-time dialogue prevents over-rehearsing and builds your ability to think on your feet. Managing interview anxiety. Through practice, nerves can sabotage even the best candidates. Luckily, repeated practice builds confidence that directly reduces anxiety. When you rehearse answers and practice your delivery until it feels automatic, you free up mental energy to stay present and engaged in the moment. Additional techniques to reduce anxiety. Visualization. Imagine a successful interview, seeing yourself confident and calm. Breathing exercises. Deep, controlled breathing before and during the interview to stay grounded. Positive affirmations. Repeat empowering statements like, I am prepared and capable. Physical warm-ups, light stretches, or shaking out tension before the interview. Combining these with your practice routine creates a holistic preparation approach. Advanced practice. Tips for top candidates. Once you master basic rehearsal, here are advanced strategies to perfect your interview skills. Simulate real interview conditions. Try practicing in different environments. Quiet rooms, noisy cafes, standing versus sitting, to adapt your focus and delivery. Record live mock interviews. Have a friend record your mock interviews to analyze not just your speech but your overall presence. Use feedback loops. Seek feedback from multiple sources, friends, mentors, professionals, and incorporate their suggestions. Practice handling. Curveballs. Prepare for unexpected questions by practicing thinking aloud when faced with unfamiliar topics. Build your personal brand. Develop a compelling, authentic narrative about your background, values, and goals that you can weave seamlessly into answers. How much practice is enough? Quality beats quantity, but consistent practice is essential. Experts recommend daily practice, 15 to 30 minutes of vocal exercises or answering random questions. Weekly mock interviews, at least one full-length simulation. Review and improvement, record, watch, and refine every few days. Chapter 7, Post-Interview, Power Moves. Congratulations! You've made it through the interview. You answered tough questions, showcased your skills, and left a positive impression. Or so you hope. But here's a crucial truth many candidates overlook. What you do after the interview often has an even bigger impact than what you did during it. This final stage can be the difference between a job offer and silence, between burning bridges and building lifelong connections. This chapter dives deep into powerful post-interview strategies. You'll learn how to craft thank you notes that truly stand out, follow up without sounding desperate or pushy, handle rejection like a professional, and turn recruiters into long-term allies in your career journey. Master these post-interview power moves, and you'll leave a lasting positive impression that extends well beyond the interview room. The underrated art of the thank you note. Many candidates underestimate the power of a well-crafted thank you note. A simple thank you email after your interview isn't just polite. It's a strategic move that reinforces your enthusiasm, professionalism, and attention to detail. Why send a thank you note? Sending a thank you note shows gratitude and respect for the interviewer's time, reinforces your interest in the position, gives you a chance to reiterate key points you want the interviewer to remember, helps you stand out in a pile of candidates who don't bother. Research shows that over 80% of hiring managers appreciate receiving thank you notes, and nearly half say it can influence their hiring decision positively. How to write a thank you note that stands out. A generic, "thanks for your time," won't cut it. Your note needs to be personalized, concise, and meaningful. Structure to follow. Express sincere gratitude. Start by thanking the interviewer for their time and the opportunity to learn more about the role and company. Highlight a specific moment. Mention something memorable from the interview that reinforced your interest or fit. It shows you were engaged and attentive. Reiterate your enthusiasm. Clearly state your excitement about the role and how you can contribute. Offer additional info. If you forgot to mention a critical skill or achievement during the interview, this is a great time to add it briefly. Close politely. End with a positive note, indicating you look forward to the next steps or staying in touch. Sample thank you note. Subject: thank you for the interview opportunity. Dear interviewer's name, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today about the job title position at company name. I really enjoyed our conversation about specific topic or project discussed, and it reinforced my excitement about the opportunity to contribute to your team. I believe my experience in specific skill or project aligns well with the goals of your department, and I'm eager to bring my relevant quality or expertise to help drive success. Please let me know if you need any additional information from my side. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Best regards, your name. Following up without sounding desperate after sending your thank you note, it's natural to want to check in on your application status. However, following up requires tact and timing to avoid coming across as impatient or desperate. When and how to follow up. Timing. Wait about 7 to 10 days after your interview or after the date the interviewer said they'd get back to you. This shows patience and respect for their process. Tone. Keep your message polite, professional, and concise. Avoid sounding pushy or demanding. Medium. Email is usually the best channel for follow-up. Phone calls can sometimes feel intrusive unless you have a direct relationship. Content. Reference your interview briefly, restate your interest, and kindly ask if there's any update on your candidacy. Sample follow-up email. Subject, following up on. Job title. Interview, dear interviewer's name. I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to follow up on the status of my application for the job title position after our interview on date. I remain very enthusiastic about the opportunity to join company name and contribute to your team. Please let me know if there's any additional information I can provide. I appreciate your time and consideration. Best regards. Your name. What to avoid. When following up, don't follow up too frequently. Once every 7-10 days is enough. More than that may annoy the hiring manager. Don't send long emails or multiple messages. Keep it short and respectful. Avoid sounding entitled or frustrated, even if you're feeling anxious. Handling rejection. Like a pro and bouncing back. Rejection is painful but inevitable in any job search. The key isn't avoiding rejection. It's how you respond that makes all the difference. Why rejection is not the end, every no is a step closer to a yes. Many successful people have faced dozens or even hundreds of rejections before landing their dream role. Rejection offers an opportunity to reflect on your interview performance, identify areas for improvement, build resilience and perseverance. How to respond to a rejection. Email or call. When you receive a rejection, respond professionally and positively. This leaves the door open for future opportunities and keeps your reputation intact. Example response. Dear interviewer's name. Thank you for informing me about your decision. While I'm disappointed, I appreciate the opportunity to interview and learn more about company name. If possible, I would be grateful for any feedback you could provide to help me improve for future opportunities. I remain very interested in your company and hope we might connect again down the road. Best regards. Your name. Using rejection as a learning opportunity. If you get feedback, take it constructively. Reflect honestly. Was your answer unclear? Was there a skill gap? Did your confidence falter? Use this insight to sharpen your skills and prepare better for the next interview. Building long-term relationships with recruiters and hiring managers. Your interview journey shouldn't end when the interview does. Establishing ongoing connections with recruiters and hiring managers can open doors for future roles, referrals, and valuable mentorship. Why build relationships? Recruiters often think of candidates when new roles open. Hiring managers may remember positive interactions and recommend you later. Professional networks can lead to unexpected opportunities. You gain access to insider knowledge about company culture and hiring trends. How to nurture these relationships. Stay in touch periodically. Send occasional updates on your career progress or share relevant industry news without overdoing it. Engage on professional platforms, connect on LinkedIn with a personalized note, endorse skills, and congratulate on milestones. Offer value. If you can, share useful articles, insights, or referrals to them. Relationships are two-way streets. Be genuine. Authenticity is key. Don't just network when you need something. Build rapport with sincerity. Additional post-interview tips that give you the edge document. Your interview experience. Write down questions asked, your answers, and how you felt afterward. This helps track progress and prepare for future interviews. Send follow-up notes to everyone. If you interviewed with multiple people, send a tailored thank you note to each one, referencing your interaction. Stay positive on social media. Hiring managers may check your online presence. Keep your profiles professional and engaging. Keep applying and interviewing. Don't stop your job search while waiting to hear back. The best candidates always have multiple irons in the fire. Real-life success story. The power of post-interview moves. Let me share a quick story of a candidate named Sarah, who landed her dream job largely because of her post-interview approach. Sarah interviewed for a competitive marketing role. After the interview, she sent a detailed thank you note referencing a specific campaign they discussed and included a link to a similar project she had worked on. A week later, she followed up politely. Though she initially got a rejection email, she responded with professionalism, asking for feedback. She then stayed connected with the recruiter on LinkedIn, occasionally sharing thoughtful marketing articles. 6 months later, a new role opened up. The recruiter immediately thought of Sarah because of her professionalism and consistent engagement. She was invited for another interview and hired. Sarah's story illustrates how post-interview power moves can transform your chances, build your reputation, and grow your network.